Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Thanks for joining us today.
So, you're aiming for NEET 2026. You've got the books, the dedication, the dream. But listen, your whole journey, it doesn't start in the exam hall. It starts with a form. And this form, it's not just paperwork. It's the very first gate you have to get through. It's also, believe it or not, a minefield. Tiny, easy-to-make mistakes can literally derail years of your hard work. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to walk through the most common application blunders and make sure your application is absolutely bulletproof.
So let's just ask the question right out of the gate. Will you avoid these mistakes? I mean, think about it. You've spent years, literally years, preparing for this. But one little slip up on this form, and bam, you've got a huge problem on your hands. So the goal here is to make sure your answer to that question is a rock-solid, confident yes.
Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. We've got 5 main parts. First up, we'll talk about strengthening your foundation. Then, how to get started on the right foot. After that, we'll dive into the labyrinth of documents. That's a big one. Then we'll cover security in the process. And finally, what proof you need to keep with you. Let's jump in.
All right, Section 1, strengthening the foundation. This is all about your pre-application checklist. I'm talking about the stuff you need to nail down before you even dream of clicking that Apply Now button. Getting this part right saves you so much headache later on.
Okay, listen up because this is probably the most important part. Your Aadhaar card is the absolute bedrock of this whole thing. I'm serious. Your name, your date of birth, your address, it all has to be updated and match your mark sheets perfectly. Any little difference could get your application flagged. And that mobile number linked to your Aadhaar, it needs to be active and physically with you, because that's where all the crucial OTPs are going to go. Oh, and the simple stuff, make sure your email isn't full and you've got a good signal on your primary phone. Sounds basic, I know, but you'd be surprised how many people trip up right here.
Okay, foundation set. Let's move on to part 2, starting correctly. This isn't just about filling in boxes, it's about strategy. It's knowing when to apply and what to use to make sure everything goes off without a hitch.
All right, let's talk timing, because this is a game changer. There's what I like to call a safe window to apply. Look, I know it's tempting to jump on the site the minute it opens, but trust me, don't. The first couple of days, the website is buggy, things are still being tested, it's just not stable. On the flip side, waiting until the last 3 or 4 days is a recipe for disaster. The servers are overloaded, payments fail, it's just pure chaos. The sweet spot is right in the middle, after the initial craze dies down, but well before the last-minute panic sets in. That's your golden window.
And what should you be applying on? A PC or a laptop. Period. I cannot stress this enough. Please do not try to fill out your entire NEET application on your phone. It's just not built for it. You risk the page refreshing randomly, options not showing up correctly, and document uploads becoming a total nightmare. Seriously, this is one of those simple things that can save you from a world of pain. Use a proper computer.
And of course, along with a good computer, you need a solid internet connection. This is important the whole time, but it becomes absolutely critical when you hit that final payment step. A connection drop right then, well, that can cause some serious problems.
Which leads us right into every applicant's worst nightmare. So picture this. You filled everything out perfectly. You click pay. The money leaves your bank account, but the screen flashes, payment failed. Your heart drops. What on earth do you do now?
Okay, first things first, do not panic. And whatever you do, do not make another payment right away. If the money has been debited, you need to just wait. Give the system up to 3 days to sort itself out. 9 times out of 10, the status will either flip to successful or you'll get a refund. Paying again just makes things way more complicated.
Okay, moving on to Section 3. Welcome to the labyrinth of documents. This is where things get really technical, and honestly, where the tiniest details can make or break your application. It's not just about what you upload, it's about getting the format, the size, and a few other things exactly right.
Now, here's a really sneaky trap you need to know about. See, if your document's file size or format is wrong, the website will reject it instantly. No upload. But if the pixels or the dimensions are wrong, the website might actually accept the upload. So you think you're all good, right? Wrong. The rejection comes much later, during the verification stage, and then you're scrambling to fix it. So, pay super close attention to those pixel and dimension requirements in the bulletin. This next one is a huge mistake people make. Your certificates, whether it's for OBC, EWS, SC, or ST, it has to be a central level certificate.
I'll say it again, central level. A state-level certificate will not work for the All India quota. If you upload a state-level one, the system will just automatically treat you as a general category candidate. No questions asked.
And for all you OBC, NCL, and general EWS candidates, there's a magic date. Get your calendars out. April 1st, 2025. Your certificate has to be issued after that date. Any certificate from before April 1st, 2025 will be considered old and invalid for the 2026 application cycle. It's a hard deadline.
So let me be crystal clear about this. Do not, under any circumstances, upload an old or a state-level certificate thinking, oh, I'll just fix it later in the correction window. That will not work. The policy is super strict. You'll be locked in as a general category candidate, and you'll lose your reservation benefit for the entire year. It's way better to get the correct certificate made first, even if it means waiting a bit, and then fill out the form.
All right, let's talk security. Section 4 is all about protecting your application and your information. These are some really simple digital safeguards that can prevent some major headaches later on. So the whole application journey is basically 3 steps, right? You've got registration, then you actually fill out the form, and finally you pay the fee. And at each of these steps, there are little security measures you should be taking.
Okay, this is a crucial habit to build. The second you finish step 1 and that registration number appears on your screen, stop. Just stop everything. Take a screenshot, write it down, do both. Why? Because the main form takes a while to fill and websites can be flaky. If your page refreshes or you get logged out, that registration number is your golden ticket to get back in without starting from scratch.
Now, this one is specifically for anyone who's going to a cyber cafe to get their form filled out. The person helping you is going to set a password for your application. You have to get that password from them. Write it down, save it in your phone, whatever you need to do, because you're going to need that same password to download your admit card and check your results later. So many people forget this and then panic. Don't be one of them.
And that brings us to the final lap. Section 5, keeping your proof. Look, just because you hit submit doesn't mean you're done. These last couple of steps are like your insurance policy. They're the proof that you did everything right.
So, once your payment is successful and you see that confirmation page, what do? You take a screenshot. Don't just close the tab and move on. That screenshot is your ultimate proof for the NTA if there are any issues with your payment later on. It's your receipt.
And for the final, and I mean final step, the system will give you a final confirmation page or a completed application PDF. You need to download this file and save it somewhere you will not lose it. And I don't mean save it for a few weeks. I mean save it until your entire counseling and admission process is completely over. Seriously, a lot of state counseling committees will ask for this exact document and you won't be able to go back and download it later.
So let's just quickly run through the biggest takeaways. Number 1, get everything ready before you even start. 2, apply during that safe window and use a computer. 3, get obsessed with the details on your documents, especially the pixels. 4, save your registration number, your password, and your payment receipt. And 5, download that final confirmation page and guard it with your life. You do those 5 things and you're in great shape. Look, you've done the hardest part. You've put in the hours, you've studied like crazy, your preparation is on point. So the only question left is, will your application be just as perfect? After this, I'm confident it will be. By just avoiding these simple mistakes, you're making sure that nothing, especially not a silly form, stands between you and the exam you've worked so incredibly hard for.